Hello, welcome to MH Designs. Today I'm making a Valentine centerpiece. It includes 3 small votives sitting on red heart-shaped paper doilies. First I'll show you how to make the little votives since they're simple, and then we'll look at the centerpiece. My project required 6 centerpieces, so a total of 18 votives. I bought stickers, doilies, and red chunky glitter at Target for $1 a piece. The votives were 17 cents a piece from a thrift shop. I added the Elmer's glue in a ring around the top of the votive, then sprinkled the glitter on. Then I patted the sprinkle with my fingertips to make sure it adhered well. Next I added the stickers, and then I placed the tea light in, and there you have the finished votive. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Valentine centerpiece. Most of these items have been purchased from a dollar store, Target, or a thrift shop. So we start out with our vase. Now I'm making 6 centerpieces, so I purchased these vases at a thrift shop for roughly $1 a piece. I got several different ones, which I'll show you at the end. I purchased this round foam also at a thrift shop, and I just cut the round ball in half. Just put hot glue to put it in place. Okay, now the flowers that I'm going to be using, I have this big, I think it's a peony, that actually has some sparkles on it. I got this at the, I believe it was Michael's. It was in the Christmas items, and it was 80% off. And then I also got these little roses came actually on a Christmas spray of flowers, and I cut these off, and then the rest of the Christmas flowers I'll use at Christmas time. I've taken all of the greens off of the flower stems because of the way I plan to be putting them in as fillers. And then the other thing I have here is ribbon. I'm going to be making a white bow with the satin ribbon. I got this ribbon at the thrift shop for $1 for like 12 feet. Really good deal. And then I also got this smaller ribbon that I'm using to tie my bow, also at a thrift shop. That was 50 cents for a whole roll of it. And then what I have here is just an old ice pick. I'm going to use this to make holes in my ball of foam. Sometimes that's a little easier because when you tear the flowers off and the leaves off of the stems, you don't have much left here to help poke it into place. So if I make the hole first with that ice pick, then it'll go inside, and of course I use hot glue to secure it. The last thing that I'm adding to my centerpiece, try to get that focused a little better, it's just a little box of chocolates. I got these at Target. They were on sale for 75 cents per box, so I'm using these as part of my arrangement. Now I took a coffee stirrer, cut it, and then glued it to the back here to be able to press this into my foam. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these leaves off of this flower. You can usually just pull them off like that. I'll be using those as filler. My objective is to completely cover this foam so that you can't see any of it. So that's why I'm using these leaves as fillers. Okay, first thing I need to do is get my wire cutters that I stole from my husband's toolbox, and I'm going to cut this off. This is a real thick stem, so I have to use these wire cutters. A little bit of a bevel there. The other thing that I'm using, this will give a little bit of height to my centerpiece. This is just a little spray of glittery stuff. I found these at a thrift shop. Fortunately, there were only 3 of them, and I have 6 centerpieces to make. So I ended up having to cut half of them out of here, and then putting wire on them to end up with 6 of these. So here's my my half that's remaining. Okay. So we got our hot glue ready. I'm going to put a little bit on this stem. Maybe a little bit right there. Go ahead and stick that in. Here. there's one focal piece. Now because these are going on round tables, I have to make some focal points all the way around the centerpiece. So I'll turn it here. I have three kind of main pieces. I have the candy and this other big flower, and then I also will have a white bow, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. But first, let's see, I'm ready to put this sampler in there, so I'll put a little bit of hot glue on that. I'm going to put that right about there, so that when you're sitting at the table you can see the pretty side of it. Now you see the back side is not so pretty, but I'm going to use a little filler, a green piece there, to hide that a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put this last large flower, I'm going to put it kind of opposite of my candy, because I will be putting a white bow in this spot. So I'm going to put some glue on that. And I'll put it right about there. Nice. Okay. Now I'll make my bow. And I'll show you that in a minute. I'm not going to show how to make a bow in this video. I'll do that in another video. But I will show you the finished product as I put it in. Okay, I have my bow made. It's white satin ribbon with wires, much easier to work with. And I put a little piece of wire around it so that I can poke that into the styrofoam ball. Put a little bit of hot glue on that first. And I'll poke that right in here opposite of the other white flower. There. Now let these dangle down. Don't want them touching the table, so I'm going to trim them just a little. There. Okay, so it's coming along. But now look at all these green foam spots we have. We don't want that showing. So I do have some more flowers here to use. I have two red flowers to put in. So I'll try to get those stuck in. Probably right in here to try to fill as much as possible. Some hot glue. I'll poke that rose in right about there. There's a case where I think I'm going to have to use my ice pick to get a little hole there. Put a little more glue. Okay, that's better. Just going to glue, just glue the bottom there right to the foam. Make a bigger slot here and just glue it right to that foam. There, that's good. There. Okay. So there we got that other little red flower in place. And that's glued pretty securely. Okay, you can still see lots of green showing though. There's a little piece of green. And if you go around, even if you look down in it, you can see some green. Before I do the fill, I'm going to go ahead and put a nice tall glittery spray. This really will set it off, give a bit of height. And that's got a nice wire end, so I'm not going to hot glue that, I'm just going to stick it in. There. There. So now it's looking pretty good. Alright, let's get some green in it. I'm going to cut these leaves small so I have plenty to spread around. Here's all 6 vases, all 6 centerpieces finished. You can see they're all different size vases and shapes, but they look beautiful, and it'll look beautiful on all the individual tables.